Happy Aloha Friday, everyone. It's time for Finish Friday. Today, I selected a song from September 4th. So we're going to take a quick listen to that. I'm not quite sure how much time I'm going to be able to spend on this today. Suddenly, the day got busy. First of all, I'm boiling peanuts for the first time, so please pardon me if I'm looking this way towards my stove. I just want to make sure that it turns out okay and doesn't boil over. Um, so you'll know if I end up running out quickly, if anything went wrong with my boiled peanuts. The other thing is my car is ready, so I'm gonna have to go pick that up fairly soon. But we're gonna try to get through as much as we can today on the September 4th track. I was debating between the September 7th track. So if you're interested, you can take a listen to the preliminary versions of both of those tracks. So that's September 4th, which is what we're going to be doing today. And then September 7th, which was kind of like a synth pop tune. And I kind of like the direction of that one. So I might have to revisit that at a later date. And maybe next week if we can't find anything else for Finish Friday. But let's go ahead and take a listen to the preliminary version of that track from September 4th. And then I'm also going to pull up some notes that I had written down for that. Let's check it out. Okay. So the reason why I chose this particular song was because I was really happy with the samples, that clock sample that I think it was one of those lucky samples that we found just scanning the radio, if I remember correctly. That, and then I want to say that there was a lot of little happy accidents that happened during that. I remember starting this track, whatever day that was just 6 days ago. And then given the parameters and given how we started, I was like, this isn't working very well. And then Jeremy, one of my buddies who hopped on the Twitch stream, kind of helped out, and I was really happy with how it turned out. So let's take a quick look at the notes that I wrote. I don't know if you guys can see this. I could barely see that. Let me see if I could. There we go. Yeah. So what did I say? So this song was written at a tempo of 122 beats per minute. I think that works. D Dorian scale. We used the microKORG, but I think we had some issues with that because for some reason it's acting a little wonky. We used the live pack singularities. I don't remember what part we used for that. We used FM8. I think that was for the little bell arpeggios. We can maybe change that out a little bit. Because right now we're not going to be using any parameters. We're just going to use our ears to see if there's anything that we would want to either add or change, or this is where we can do some sound design. This is where we can do a bunch of other things to kind of make it more of a polished, finished tune. We use that probabilistic sequencer. I think we use that on the bass, if I remember correctly. And then let me just read what I wrote. I said, today was a long one. Started off extremely shaky. Yes, that's how I remember it. However, I like the end product, very baroque, epic video game sounding track that was complemented by the bell tower and old-time movie dialogue sample we found at the very end. Struggled with the microKORG. That's right, it's not working. Weird MIDI messages being transmitted, so we had to scrap that idea. Started off with FM8 and created a bell arpeggiated pattern with the noodler. Oh, that's right, we used this noodler. That set the mood for the rest of the track. Took a while, as I wasn't happy with the chord changes, but the extra time ended up paying off. Next, we used the Pro 1 and later singularities for low and bass duties. Okay. Had to do some sequencing in arrangement and even got to use the take lanes a bit. After scrapping the microKORG, we ended up using a Pigments nylon guitar plug. Okay, so that guitar plug was from Pigments. I think I might want to change that out. Ended up sounding great. Oh wait, sounding preset that brought the whole track together with its classical Baroque sound. Well, that's true. Finally, we programmed that straight 4 on the floor beat and sent it over to the TRAS, where we got to do some light manipulation. All in all, a fun track to make, and a little left field from what I usually do, and I like it that way. So what I put in this area, I mean, it looks like kind of what I had before, but started off shaky. Lucky was salvaged due to community help. Thanks, Jeremy. Let's do something with this. Nylon guitar is cool, but might sound better with a Vince Clarke like vibrato synth string thing. The clock tower bells really work. Very dreamy and epic sounding. So yeah, what else did we put? Yeah, so over here I put that it was like 45% done. So yeah, and then the thing is, unfortunately, the way that I've been working recently on these morning pages is that I will just write over the kit. So right now, I'm going to actually mute, I'm just going to mute this master track. And in fact, maybe I'll just zero that out. Because when we hear what it sounds like now, you'll hear that there's a different drum track. And in fact, that we're using the same drums. This is the same drum kit that I used for this morning's morning pages. So let's take a listen. See, there's a 707. But that's okay, because recently what I've been doing is I've been doing my sound design on the drums purely in the TR-8S, and we can save that to the end, and we can see what kind of drum kit would go well with this vibe. I don't mind that 707 snare though. Let's hear that. This is it right here. Okay, but maybe what we can do is, well, we can try another. Let's give this its own pattern. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let me just clear all of this, and we'll just work from scratch on the drums later. So you can see that this would give it a totally different vibe. But that's okay. We're gonna work on the drums a little bit later. Although let me get rid of this snare. I think I'd rather use a. We'll just use a 909 for now, because 909 day yesterday. Yeah, that might actually work. Okay, so the other thing is that a lot of what we have here, actually most of it is already in audio format, and that's kind of, that's a good and a bad thing. Of course, the bad issue with this is that now if we did want to record a new type of instrument using that same sequence, we'd have to do all of that all over again. But the good thing is that we've already kind of committed to these sounds. So, you know, in the interest of not just time, but also in the spirit of what we've done before. I mean, granted, it was during a Morning Pages. Why don't we just keep what we have and roll with that? I mean, I didn't hear any huge areas that would need a total re-recording, but we can add some different effects. We can change some parts if we wanted to. We could reverse some of those guitar plucks. I kind of wanted those guitar plucks to be more synthy sounding, but maybe we could layer that with maybe a Moog patch or something to give it more of a epic, you know, an epic feel. We might be able to also bring in the Prophet 6 for some string or pad duties, or maybe another VST that would sound good. Let me take a quick listen to this. This is like this one was the FM8 arpeggio bells. It's bell pad. And you know, when we do our Morning Pages, usually our tracks are pretty short. I think we can extend this. In fact, you know, I'm going to add 8 bars to the beginning of this. And see if we can maybe even start with this bell tower sound. And already I can tell that, you know, this, I would usually do this in the mixing phase, but you hear that static? That's really bothering me. Also, since we're not going to be recording too much MIDI, I'm going to up my buffer size 1024 so we don't get any crackles. I still have crackles on that, so I think this will need the spectral noise reducing plugin. Spectral denoise, that's what it is. I mean, there's also decrackle, but that takes up so much CPU. Let me try it, because that is a crackle. Here's what I can do. I'm gonna duplicate this track. And then with that decrackle on there, I am going to freeze and flatten it. Just give me 1 second. And also, I'm going to go check on my boiled peanuts right now. So give me a second. Okay, they're looking pretty good. Nothing's boiled over into the kitchen yet. I guess this is the one time-consuming thing is when you are freezing and flattening tracks, it is a bit of a wait, but it'll be worth it in the end because that plugin is great. It actually takes out most of those crackles. But yeah, that plugin takes up a lot of CPU. Okay. Is there anything else I can do while this is happening? Oh, yesterday I started giving a tour of my little modular rig, so why don't I continue that since all I have to do is move this down. Okay. Modular rig. Okay, so these are my main oscillators or sound sources. So I've got the Lifeforms primary oscillator, Platts, and rings. These two are bimutable instruments. We have the BIA, the Bacillus Iteratus Alter by Noise Engineering. This is more of like a drum module. I still consider it an oscillator just because it's a sound source, but it's such a great sounding percussive module. I've got 3 filters over here, starting with this one. This is the SEM voltage controlled filter, which is, oh, there we go, which is an emulation of the Oberheim SEM, the Wasp, and the Lifeforms. And funny, that's about as far as I got yesterday as I was waiting for live to restart. Okay. Let me flatten this. Flattening is going to commit this whole track into an audio track. I mean, its own audio track with all of the effects already added to it. And then now I can actually take that off, and for good measure, I'm going to take off that decrackle. And now we can see what this sounds like. So much better. compared to this. You hear all that crackling? And now I'm thinking we need to add another little dialogue area here. So I'm going to add another audio track between this, and then I'm going to minimize this guy because we're not going to even listen to that anymore. And in fact, maybe what we have here will work.
No other way?
No.
No other way?
No.
Adam, darling.
Then you'll be. Then you'll be.
Maybe we'll just, yeah, this is what we'll do.
No other way?
No.
Adam, darling.
Then you'll be.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
I'm wondering what else we can add in this area to, do we want the bass line? No. Maybe the bell? Although we had that come in a little bit later. Oh, we have another bass line. Oh yeah, why don't we do that? It's a nice side chained.
No other way?
No.
Adam, darling. I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, it won't take long. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Yeah. So cool. So what we're gonna do is on Finish Friday, it's probably a lot of me just putting in these little placeholders. Intro. But I think this is an important part of the songwriting process. You know, you kind of want to be able to identify when things start coming in. At this point, we're just going to keep them all kind of in divisions of 4 bars. So at the 8 bar, I'm going to just say kick. So
Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
and then I'm going to duplicate this time because I want this to go for and let's see, I'm going to put OH for open hat right here.
Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Gonna have to. The thing is when you're inserting time or duplicating time, then you have to make sure that you look at every single track. Okay. And we're gonna duplicate this one too. We're just gonna extend these for like 16 bars. I know, I'm gonna just insert time. And we're gonna just drag some of these things over. And I wanna put in a little mini break right here. Okay, here's what happened. This bass line from Singularity right here has too much compression on it. So actually, I should have recorded it without the compression. I was a little too keen. So luckily, we still have this patch in MIDI. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this and bring it over here, and we're going to sequence it with MIDI. And then we can, and it's actually easier to visualize because we've got the MIDI notes down here. So let me duplicate that.
Only this time. Big test.
No other way.
No.
Adam, darling.
Give me a reason.
I'd agree to anything you say so.
Oh, it won't take long. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time. There'll be no return from the rain.
Take it back, you know? Putting in the open hats right here is a good idea.
Only this time. There'll be no. Only this time. There'll be no return from the rain.
Break one. And then here, at this point, I want this to ring out without that modulation, because that modulation so what I would have to do is I have to figure out which one of these is making it. Yeah. So this would be a good time to now turn these devices. These devices are fine on here. I'm going to turn it off here, and I'll turn them back on around here. So for that one, for the LFO and LFO2, same thing. So what you're going to notice is the LFOs will turn on, so I get that bass movement. Maybe some sparkle or something over here. Something sparkly. And then we're gonna put that bell sound again right here. Maybe right here. And then maybe some vocals. We'll try to figure something out. Maybe this is just 2 bars. And then, in fact, now I want to take okay, now we're getting out of visible by 4. And then here's where and then maybe the bass comes in right here. Or let's see what the bass sounds like when it comes in during the break. I want it to start here. Maybe this arpeggio then comes in after 4 bars. Is that being a little too aggressive? Maybe all of it comes in. Here we go. This is for the break right here.
A man without pity is like a clock without hands.
And I want to extend that and actually maybe pitch it down a little. No. Original pitch is good.
A man without pity is like a clock without hands. A man without pity is like a clock without hands.
And then we'll have a crash cymbal right there. And there is a crash cymbal, I see, but it's not sounding. Because there's no crash cymbal instrument on there. Something like that.
They'll be in return from the rain. without hands. Only this time. Only this time. There'll be no return. A man without a city is like a clock without hands.
We'll put in a little sweep. So to do that, we've got our FM synth here. Let me put in a new MIDI track. Oh no, well, I think I've got some sweeps from the modular. Let's see if we have any samples. Did I have any original ones? Thought I did. Maybe all results. No, too dramatic. Okay, we can put this in as a placeholder. And if I do this, then I need just the regular audio track. Well, okay. This would need to be longer, so I would probably just double that time. And then when you stretch it, it's so horrible. So I take that back. Let's create one with Riser, the Riser BST. And then we can choose the type of riser. We can manipulate it a little bit, give it some movement. But honestly, I think I would want this to be just like white, like a white noise. So I should just use something here, but let's find a turn that down. Let's just find out white noise. A swell. Okay. Pitch falls, reso fall. Basic noise fall. Yeah, something like that. I think that kind of goes with it. This is what's happening. Is the riser is getting MIDI information from all ends. Change that on the push. This is it. Let's change this up a little. Oh, too bright, that's what it is. That's a little bit better. This gives it something a little more interesting. I'm gonna yeah. And then, well, do we even need reverb? Because maybe we'll use what we have already, but let's... Yeah, let's try that.
A man without city is like a clock without hands.
Okay, so we got this. Just need to quantize it. I think that's a good sound because it goes into the next realm of the end of our break. So I'm gonna raise this and then it'll fall again. This is just my delay. Let's see how this sounds.
A man without city is like a clock without hands.
Yeah. And I know we're not mixing at this point, but I see that I'm in the red, so I'm going to select all of my tracks and I'm going to move everything down and then move up the parts that I would want emphasized. I just don't want to be in the red so soon in this process. It's still pretty high up there.
A man without city is like a clock without hands.
Yeah. So I'm going to rename this to be full drums. Full drums. Let me just oh, perfect. Actually, not. We're at 31. Oh, let's hear what this sounds like. So I just need to add one more bar right here. Make sure we're kind of, we got 32 bars before we have our main break. Yeah, so that's 32. Delete this. I'm thinking we're gonna definitely change up this guitar. We can keep it as a bottom layer, but thinking it might sound better if we let's see. I think I'll add some percussion too, and in fact here I'm gonna call this track, I mean, lack of a better term, vocals, because that's where we'll put like some of the speaking parts, and then this one will just be bell, clock, bell, because maybe starting with our full drums is when we'll start putting this at every, let's see what sounds best. Oh yeah, no, we need that to hit. So in fact, we don't need the bell to hit at the break.
A man without city is like a clock without hands.
Boom, there too. we have a couple of different options, so maybe we do it this way so that the bells are a little different each time. This is what I've noticed. We're gonna let this thing, yeah. Yeah. Oh, weird. Oh, because this guy's on. Oh, this is also a clock. So maybe we got to go like this so that we have 3 different sounding clock chimes, as subtle as they may be. Yeah. There we go. So they're just copying and pasting. And I'm thinking we'll add some more effects to this bell. And then at this point, I'm gonna put a marker. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but maybe like a shaker, or this is just add something here. Okay, I'm gonna have to move everything because I'm still hitting that peak. Maybe a couple of decibels. Probably sounds better for you guys too. Yeah. And since we're here, you know, on these Finish Fridays, I don't mind like just kind of jumping around and doing a bunch of different tweaks. I think that's kind of the fun part of finishing a track, you know, rather than working on one part all the time. I mean, I know that that's good for focus, and I think maybe that'll work for a lot of people. But I don't know, for me, I kind of like, if I hear something, I want to kind of do that right away before that feeling kind of goes away. So that feeling that I wanted was using this EQ, no, not this EQ8, going to this, to my global delay or my return track, and I want to put in an LFO. And I know we did this on the last track, but I'm not really sick of how it sounds yet. And we could slightly change it up as well, but and actually what I'll do is I won't sync these guys up, and I'm gonna map this to this right time. Actually, let's keep it synced. Let's see what happens if I do this. Well, no, change my mind again. This left side we can keep like this, keep synced with the tempo. I'm just going to very shallowly move the this delay time. Let's see if we can hear anything. Ooh. That really, okay. So instead of doing that, sync it up. Maybe this one could be a little bit faster. Let's see. Maybe I don't want movement on my on the return track, but maybe I'll have to put in a separate echo device. Yeah. And with this one, I'm going to extend that out, extend the C out. I'll do it more because then I can play with the length. Okay, now I can't remember what we had before. Oh, I think we... Let's go back to our original. Let me see what I had during that break. I had the bells and the clock tower. So I do have the clock tower here. It was the what's this? Oh, yeah, this is a bit, this bell pad right here. Let's see what it sounds like. And here we'll have to probably put in some
Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
we'll have to put maybe a new, we'll put in a new vocal here. This will just be a placeholder for now. Add new vocal here. Let's see. Let's see how this break sounds now. let's put in a longer riser here. That's why.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a break.
I'll just extend this thing out. Because it's a really long, what do they call it? Fall. It's like a white noise fall. And in fact, this could start a little bit before.
no other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a break.
no other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a break.
I'll agree to anything you say, sir.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to consolidate this. This is our little pluck, but it seems a little too thin for me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this audio to MIDI. I think we have the MIDI somewhere, but we had shifted some of the solo part around. And, you know, maybe for the final product, I could even re-record it. Let's see. Weird. Okay. So let me take this and I'm going to put it on the Moog channel. Oh, shoots. We changed that. Let me put it on the Prophet 6. Or I guess it could be anything. And see if we can convert this to MIDI. So yeah, this is a little melody. It's a pretty simple pluck, so I think should be able to do that. But I think starting from Ableton Live 10, or maybe even 9, they had added the feature of audio to MIDI, and it does a pretty decent job, especially with something with like a really sharp attack. Like we have here with the guitar plucks, and then also with drums that are a little more straightforward. We might have to move some MIDI around, but the reason why I want to do this, so yeah, it looks pretty good just from my eye. Let's go ahead and see what this sounds like on the Prophet.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a break.
I'll agree to anything you say, sir.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
So what I think I want to do is layer this part, but not with the Prophet 6. I'm going to change this to the Moog because I have something similar here. So instead of sending this to the Prophet, and then let me delete all this because we don't need any of these program change modules. So this one is going to be sent to the Moog Matriarch on channel 16. Yes. And the audio is going to come from RME 1, 2. So here we go. So just if not that it's anything interesting, but the matriarch is what's going to be playing right now.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a reason.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift all of this down. Come on.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a reason.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
So yeah, you can see now is like sound design time.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a reason.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Well, now is when latency comes in. I changed it. Yeah, see, something like this, because, something that kind of, let's see.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a reason.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
See, oh man, there's a lot that we can do. So right now it's sounding a little weird.
No other way.
No.
Adam,
Give me a reason.
I'll agree to anything you say so.
Oh, for God's sake, no. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time.
Let me just check. Did I shift these notes incorrectly? Let's try it with. Oh, let's try it with the Blue Marvin. I mean, that's really gonna mess us up if not gonna show us if it's the right pitch for sure. But let's just give it a shot. Okay, so shift from one synth to another. Check out the Blue Marvin. This is going to be channel 1. Are you hearing anything? Nope. MIDI to the Blue Marvin. Nothing is coming out. Make sure I have. Okay, plan B. Let me just unpatch all of this. Not hearing anything. Are my oscillators up? I think it's a MIDI. I think it's a MIDI thing. Blue Marvin, channel 1. Okay, we are going to change it to the Prophet 6 for now, rather than having to try to troubleshoot. Okay, watch your ears. I did mess it up. I think this is D, right? What the? Why isn't it letting me even change? Oh, because folded. Whoa. What happened? It was fine before. Let me reconvert this. See what happened. Just do it here. Okay. And in the meantime, I gotta check my connections here on the Blue Marvin. Okay, we're letting this guitar pluck. Let's see where we are here. Started at D, yeah. I don't know why this, I don't know what happened with this one. It looks right, but things kind of shifted. Okay. Quantize. Fold this.
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave. No. Give me a whistle. Hard from the grave.
And we could do a little variation too. I mean, we're in arrangement right now, but what I can do is I'll move this down here, and then let's invert this and see if we get anything interesting.
No. Give me a whistle. Hard won't take long. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave. No.
Since I got the arpeggiator going, I want this to go all the way across.
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave. No. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
But you see, we can kind of change it up a little. I might have to think about this a little bit more, but
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave. No.
too bassy, I think. But
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave. No. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
okay, well, at least I have this as a MIDI file.
And no one will be any the wiser.
I'm gonna just
There'll be no return from the grave. No. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
ooh,
And no one will be any the
this
wiser.
is kind of neat.
Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
I'm gonna record that in because and then I want to write down what I used. Let's hear it solo first, and I'm gonna do a little bit of tweaking on this. Let's hear it in context. I like that.
No.
And then on top of that, I think I'm gonna add something to the pluck to make it a little more dreamy. We'll add a ton of reverb and maybe some reverses. That might be cool. And in fact, let's experiment with that now. Let me reverse that and just see what this sounds like. I mean, I like how it ended, but thinking, let's just see what it sounds like. Okay, so I think we've got something here. So I'm gonna have to re-record those guitar plucks as well, and I'm going to reverse it, record it in, and then reverse it so we get the same melody but reversed. So what I'm gonna have to do is I've got to find where we had that. But I mean, I guess that's okay because we redid it here. I'm gonna put this the track. Insert a new scene. We're not using this one. I think we even took it out, but we have FM8 in here right now. Let me just take a picture of our settings on FM8 because I don't want to miss out on it. Then actually, I'll just put pigments in here. Pigments. And then we'll reverse it. This was synth lead, and this was called guitar. I think it was called Nylon Guitar, although, oh, shit. I don't know if I have it anymore. Dirty Harp? Is that what it was? So, it's not, and I had taken it out altogether. See, these are the things that you learn. Although I still haven't learned that lesson of, taking out these CPU intensive VSTs, like just deleting them altogether rather than just disabling them, which I think would do the same thing. I shouldn't have done that because that was something that we had created from scratch, I think. Let's see this pluck string. This might actually work better. So I want to record that. And then I also want to record a reverse of this. So then I could record it as audio and then reverse it and then get that nice reverse effect. So in order to do that, you just want to select all of these things and then just click reverse. And then let me name this pluck, reverse, and then this one will just be called pluck. And then actually we could mix all of those together and then EQ them so that each of them have their own space and maybe pan them a little separately. So let's just see how this is going to sound. Let's record. Actually, I like how some of those plucks kind of sounded in context. So maybe we'll be able to add some of those plucks in and have a really nice, really dense break with that solo. I kind of like where this is going. And then let's just do the straight up one, although let me rev.
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Okay. So this one was reversed. I'm gonna duplicate that. And then with this, I'm gonna reverse it. And we should hear, let's just solo this out. We should hear our and there are some effects already in the plugin, so that's why you're hearing some of those artifacts, but not too bad. Let's put it in to this break, and then let's just keep layering these things and see if this works out for us. Placement's important. Actually, I should have pitched it up before, but let's see what it sounds like if we just use the and let's see what this sounds like pitched down. I like it better. See. That one might work. Let's see how this sounds. Let me just record it in. I'll give this its own audio track. I think there's too much going on there. Not, I'm not a fan of that. Let's try this again. Yeah, how about that? Okay, I'm liking that. Let's record this in. That's a cool break. Or yeah, this is kind of like our big epic solo for the track. So, let's see what everything sounds like together. We need something low.
And no one will be any wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
Yeah, not too bad. Let me see if adding our bass is gonna work. Yeah. So we'll keep. Let's see if this would work. Let's see if this would work. You know, a little bit longer. Maybe just one bar instead. Delete time. And then maybe over here we, yeah, the riser comes out here anyway. And then, yeah, we get that little 808 crash symbol. Everything else gets deleted. keep it in there for now, but I would probably just make it even a half bar pause, and then add something more interesting in there. I'll just call this pause, and then I'll return to that later. Actually, although, unless we wanted to... This is one thing we could put in. Just crop that. And then reverse it. And see if this is going to help with any kind of impact. There's a little... that. Something like that. I'll fix that a little bit later. I mean, maybe it's just putting a ton of effect on. These guys right here should be louder, because this is like our... Oh, and can't make it louder on this front. I'm going to add a new vocal here that will be a little more interesting. And then actually, this would be kind of neat, very subtle. Okay, well, let's get the structure going. This is sort of where we're starting to kind of do outro-ish things. Is that a word? Okay. 16 bars, I want to double that. And maybe in this... Oh, yeah. Yes. This right here. This could be where, let's see.
And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
This is what I'm going to do. These guys will be lower.
It won't take long. And no one will be any the wiser. Only this time, there'll be no return from the grave.
And then we'll have to EQ that a little. Yeah, so after the break, then this bass drops out. So we have a nice little, light little, twinkly kind of sounding thing. And then we could bring that bass back in here for that second half of this sort of getting ready to go into the outro. Where are we here? So maybe we start back here. So imagine we got yeah, and then it comes back like that. You could add some more vocal chops, maybe something a little stuttery and reversed. Something that Underworld would have done, like around Boku Fish. Take a listen to that album. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if this adds anything. To our pre-break and our break.
No. Can you believe it? I'm glad to take it off. And there won't be any.
Maybe I'll have to add something else right here. That's what we'll do. Okay. Something else needs to happen here. Something needs like an emphasis here. I mean, maybe it's the drums where we I know. What if we put in some ride cymbals here? There's nothing here, so something like that. Oh, I just heard I'm making boiled peanuts. I know it's off topic. I'm making boiled peanuts right now, and I just heard the stove go off. Let me just take a quick peek to make sure nothing boiled over. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe a ride cymbal right here might do the trick. You know, to just add like a subtle, let me see if that's the right timing. No, that's not. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just gonna put it straight for right now, but this could change. And then I want to add some variations to the drums, add some more percussion, make it a little more interesting. Let me change this closed hat to 808. Oops, no. What might help is, let me emphasize this bass, the Pro 1 bass. And at this point, let me go ahead and record in these hi-hat pans. There we go. Yeah, and then I think that's a good structure. Unless we want to outro this, let's add an outro so that we can kind of start deconstructing these drums. Snare goes. Hi-hat stay. Our ride cymbal goes. And you can see, look, we don't even have any percussion. I think the percussion is going to really add to this. And to give you an idea of what something like that might sound like, let's see. The reason is we are very high on the sample rate, and yeah, I'm launching the MIDI from here, so that is also subject to latency. So let's just see what this would sound like. Again, maybe just, because I think it'll add a lot. Not that. Yeah, well, I'll have to think about the percussion. Man, this is Finish Friday, and I have a lot of things put on my to-do to finish this. But it's already 2:45. I have to wrap this up. But I think we made pretty good progress on this track. Let me wrap this up now, and let's hear what we have so far. Move this back up. I know in my mind that I have a lot of little sound design elements, and then, but I think we've got the structure at least. I think that's a big part of it. Oh, this pluck right here needs to be brought back in. And maybe that's something that needs emphasis. Yeah, because it didn't get a lot of there wasn't a lot of flux over here. And what if we do something like this? Okay, now I know it's just now it's a matter of not being distracted. Has anybody read the War of Art? Not to be confused with the Art of War, but the War of Art. There's always something for artists. It's called the resistance, and I think this is the resistance. Even though we're actually making art, you know, when you're just starting to add these little elements, then you know it's time to maybe put it down and think a little bit more on it. Let's see what this sounds like though. Yeah, I don't like it, but I like the idea, so I'm going to color code that. The other thing is I want to I want to be sure that we got these bells. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. This is what we need right here. Something needs emphasis, yes. So this is where we'll be doing this. Yeah, and then the outro. Okay, let's hear what we have so far. And I think we've come quite a bit within the span of a couple hours. Let's take a listen. Thank you for joining me on another Finish Friday. I think this is an important part of at least my process. This is only the second time I'm hosting this Finish Friday stream, but yeah, at least for me personally, I need to have a dedicated day or time to actually do something with these little noodles I've been doing in the morning called morning pages. So Finish Friday's probably the most important thing. Might have to make this a twice a week thing at least, be able to further some of these morning page ideas. But thank you so much for coming, and let's listen to what we have so far, and hopefully I can finish this thing in the span of the next few days. Thanks for coming.
And no one will be anything.